Last time Malin and I was here in Hjo was last midsummer. And they have a very local nature reserve, like in the middle of the town. And we walked that, super beautiful, very nice. Got back to the harbor, went down to the ice cream shop, having a really nice date. So after a while we were like, okay, yeah, should we go home now? Yeah, let's go home. So I went down in my pocket and I felt, do you have the car key? And she was like, no, you have it. I don't have it. So I actually lost my car key somewhere in the nature reserve. Wasn't a nice time. Yeah. Anyways, white balance sounds like one of those settings you just put on auto and forget about. But if you care about consistent, natural-looking colors in your photos, it's actually one of the easiest ways to improve your results. And here's the thing, you actually only need about 3 settings to master it. Hi everybody and welcome back to a new video. I'm Jimmy, a hobby enthusiast photographer based in Sweden. And in today's video, we're talking about white balance. What it actually does, why it matters more than you think, and which 3 settings I believe is the only ones you will ever need. Stick around until the end and I'll explain why I personally keep my white balance locked at 5600K even when the light changes. Let's start with the basics. White balance is the setting that tells your camera what neutral white should look like, based on the color temperature of light you're shooting in. Different lights gives different color casts. A cloudy day is cool and bluish. Incandescent bulbs or a sunrise sunset are warm and orange. Your camera compensates for this by shifting the color tones to try to make white look neutral. This is measured in Kelvin, and even though you don't need to memorize the numbers, understanding the general scale helps a lot. Lower values like 3000 Kelvin means warmer light, like indoor bulbs, for example. Higher value Kelvin, like 7000, means a more cooler bluish light, like in heavy shade. And here's where it kind of feels backwards. When you increase the Kelvin number in your camera, the image actually becomes warmer, because you're telling the camera that the light you're shooting in is cool, and it then compensates for this. Lowering your Kelvin value instead cools down the image, because the camera now assumes the light you're shooting in is warm. Auto white balance tries to guess the correct balance automatically based on the scene. But here's the catch, it often changes between photo to photo, even when you're in the same spot taking the same image a few seconds apart. And that can ruin color consistency, especially if you're editing later. Now, you could scroll through all the presets, shade, cloudy, fluorescent, tungsten, underwater, etc. Or even use a gray card to measure light perfectly. But unless you're doing product photography or color critical work, you honestly don't need that, in my opinion. Instead, I rely on 3 settings for my video work. Daylight, which is around 5600K, indoor or tungsten around 3000 to 4000K, and the last one is auto white balance for when the light is changing a lot. But Jimmy, I thought this video was about photography. I know, just hang on. This ties directly into how I shoot photography as well. And I promise it will all make sense in just a moment. The point is here, you don't actually need to fiddle around with the settings all the time. Just understand when and why you should use them. So let's look at each of the three, starting with my personal favorite, daylight, or manually setting the Kelvin value to around 5600. I use this for pretty much everything outdoors. Why? Well, because daylight is a known reference point. It keeps colors natural and, more importantly, consistent. If the light shifts slightly during your shoot, you still get a stable color tone throughout your photos. As it's a shoot in RAW, I can change the white balance later, but starting with a consistent tone means less color correcting and more editing creatively. The only real time I change my white balance is when I'm shooting indoors under artificial light. For example, when I'm filming with my G80 at home, like I am right now, I usually set my white balance to around 32 to 3500 Kelvin. This corrects that overly orange glow you get from warm light bulbs and brings the scene back to neutral. I could use auto white balance, but the risk, as I have a window over there, and if the daylight changes, like clouds passing by, your camera might start shifting colors mid-shot. 1 second is cool, the next is warm, and suddenly it looks like your clip is flickering. This isn't just for home setups indoors or video work per se. This applies anytime you're indoors with the typical warm light. Think cafes, living rooms, older offices, or even moody indoor bars. If the lights have that yellow-orange tint, switching to a tungsten preset or manually dialing in between 3000 and 4000 Kelvin will save your footage, your skin tones, and a whole lot of time in post. Okay, so I just spent the last chapters talking about how auto white balance can be inconsistent, but there are times when it actually makes sense. If you're in fast changing light, like if you're walking in and out from the shade, or doing casual street photography where speed matters more than perfect color, auto white balance can be a helpful tool. Just know you might get varying results. If you shoot in RAW, this isn't the end of the world, but if you're aiming for consistency and a cleaner workflow, sticking to a fixed white balance can be a better choice. I watched a Sean Tucker video a while back, and he explains the technical part of this very well. I've linked his video down below if you're interested. But when it comes to photography, I keep my white balance locked at 5600 Kelvin pretty much all the time. Because I don't always want neutral. If I'm out shooting in blue hour, I want that cool tone to stay blue. And if I'm out shooting at night and there's a warm window glowing on the street, I don't want auto white balance to cool it down. I want to keep the mood. That's something I care more about than a technically accurate white balance. That said, I barely shoot at blue hour or in the night. But when I do, I want those settings to be locked in. The other 99.5%, well, it's nice not having to think about it. So I guess I could probably actually run with auto white balance. But will I? No. For video work though, this is where I actually change my white balance depending on the environment. For outdoors, like now, I have it set on 5600 Kelvin. And for the same reasons as before, clean and consistent colors. For indoors, I manually set it to between 3000 and 4000 Kelvin or using the preset fluorescent. And for when the light is changing really fast and I'm maybe recording a B-roll, that's when I use auto white balance. But I will say I rarely actually do. The idea here is not to be restricted, it's to be consistent. So to recap, I only use 3 white balance settings for my workflow. Daylight or 5600K, tungsten between 3000 to 4000 Kelvin, and auto white balance. But for photography, I almost always use 5600K. Just 3 simple options that keeps your colors consistent and your workflow stress-free. And now I have a question for you. What white balance do you use the most? And have you ever tried a fixed white balance over auto white balance? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and consider subscribing. I appreciate it so much. You have no idea. But until next time, have a good day or evening whenever you're watching this. Out!